Wisdom Symphony.
Have you ever found yourself stuck in a moment where everything feels like a battle? You're constantly trying to push through obstacles, but the harder you push, the more resistance you face. It's like life has become a never-ending to-do list, and no matter how much you check off, it never feels like enough. Sound familiar? We've all been there, and let me tell you, it's exhausting. It feels like swimming against the current in a river that just keeps flowing faster. But what if you didn't have to fight so hard? What if you could stop forcing things and instead allow life to flow naturally? Imagine waking up every day knowing that whatever comes your way, you've got it handled not through sheer willpower, but through alignment. It's possible. That's what creator mode is all about. It's about letting go of the struggle and stepping into a life where you're not just reacting to everything around you, but you're actively shaping it. Today, we're going to explore what it means to enter creator mode, where you're no longer a passive passenger in life, but the one behind the wheel. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. Let's break down creator mode. It's a mindset, a way of being where you take full responsibility for your life. Instead of letting circumstances dictate how you feel or how you respond, you're the one calling the shots. It's as if you've shifted from being a passenger on a bus to being the driver. In creator mode, you're not just along for the ride, you're intentionally steering your life in the direction that resonates with who you are. You might be thinking, okay, that sounds great, but what does that actually look like? It's simple. It's about living with intention. You stop going through the motions and start asking yourself, what do I really want? What feels true to me? It's a shift from reacting to everything life throws at you to creating a reality that feels aligned with your deepest desires. It's about no longer being a victim of circumstances or falling into old habits. Instead, you become aware of your power to shape your life. Creator mode isn't about being perfect or never facing challenges. It's about embracing those challenges from a place of strength and clarity, knowing that you have the tools within you to navigate them. Let's talk about control. Why do we cling to it so tightly? It's like we've been conditioned to believe that if we're not in control, things will fall apart. We've been taught to plan, to manage, to have everything figured out. But the more we try to control things, the more life pushes back. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you grip, the faster it slips away. Control gives us the illusion of safety. We think that by controlling every detail, we can avoid failure, disappointment, or discomfort. But the truth is, control limits us. It keeps us stuck in rigid patterns, closed off from the possibilities that life might offer if we just loosen our grip a little. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we leave no room for flow, no space for the unexpected joys or opportunities that could transform our experience. In creator mode, you shift from needing control to trusting the process. You realize that life isn't something to be managed or micromanaged. It's something to be lived, experienced, and co-created. You begin to understand that the real power lies not in controlling everything, but in aligning with what feels right for you. Imagine you're paddling upstream in a canoe. You're putting in all your energy, your muscles are burning, but the river's current is working against you. No matter how hard you try, you just can't make much progress. Now imagine turning the canoe around. Suddenly, you're going with the flow. You're still steering, still in control of the direction, but the river is carrying you, and everything feels smoother, easier. That's the difference between force and flow. When you're stuck in force mode, everything feels hard. You're trying to make things happen, but nothing seems to work out the way you want. You feel like you're constantly swimming against the tide, exhausted and frustrated. In contrast, when you shift to flow, life feels lighter. You stop pushing, and instead you start allowing. You trust that life has a rhythm and you align with it. Instead of forcing outcomes, you take inspired action. Flow doesn't mean you stop working towards your goals. It means you stop working against yourself. It's about recognizing when to act and when to step back and let life unfold. You're still active, still moving forward, but you're not fighting every step of the way. So, how do you actually enter creator mode? It starts with awareness. Most of us spend our lives on autopilot, reacting to situations without really thinking about what we're doing or why. We fall into habits, routines, and patterns that no longer serve us. The first step to breaking free is to wake up. You need to become aware of where you're placing your energy. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it's aligned with who I am, or am I just going through the motions? Once you're aware, the next step is to focus on what lights you up. When was the last time you felt truly alive, excited, or inspired? What activities make you lose track of time? These are clues to your true path. The things that bring you joy are signals from your soul, guiding you towards alignment. The more you pay attention to what excites you, the easier it becomes to enter creator mode. You start to notice that life isn't something that's happening to you. It's something you're co-creating. You begin to trust yourself, your instincts, and the process. Creator mode is all about living in alignment with your true self and taking actions that feel authentic and meaningful. Here's something powerful to keep in mind: what you focus on grows. It's like sunlight on a plant. If you focus on your problems, guess what? Those problems will expand and take up more space in your life. But if you focus on your goals, dreams, and passions, that's what will grow. This is where focus and intention come in. Focus is your ability to direct your attention, and intention is the energy behind that focus. Think of focus as a magnifying glass. Whatever you direct it towards becomes more prominent in your life. If you're constantly worrying about what might go wrong, that's where your energy goes, and those fears start to feel bigger. But when you shift your focus to what excites and inspires you, that's what starts to expand. Intention is like a guiding force. When you set an intention, you're telling the universe, this is what I want to create. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a declaration of your desires. When you combine focus and intention, you become a powerful creator. You're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You're actively shaping your reality based on what matters most to you. Control is something we all struggle with. We think that if we can just control every detail, everything will turn out the way we want. But here's the truth: control is an illusion. The more you try to control, the more resistance you encounter. It's like holding onto a rope that's pulling you in the wrong direction. The tighter you hold on, the more painful it becomes. Letting go of control doesn't mean you give up or stop caring. It means you release the need to micromanage every outcome. You trust that you've done your part, and now it's time to let life unfold in its own way. It's about surrendering to the flow, knowing that what's meant for you will come in its own time and form. When you let go of control, you create space for something better to come in. You stop clinging to old patterns, beliefs, or outcomes that are no longer serving you. You allow the universe to work its magic, and in that space, miracles can happen. The beauty of letting go is that you make room for new possibilities, possibilities you might not have even imagined. Let's face it, uncertainty can be scary. We like to know what's coming next, to feel like we have a plan. But here's the thing: life is full of uncertainty, and no amount of planning will ever eliminate it. So, instead of fearing uncertainty, why not embrace it with curiosity? Think about it like this: when you watch a movie for the first time, part of the excitement comes from not knowing what's going to happen next. The twists and turns keep you engaged. Life is a lot like that. When you approach it with curiosity, uncertainty becomes less of a threat and more of an adventure. Instead of saying, "I don't know what's going to happen," And that scares me. You start saying, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm excited to find out. This shift in mindset changes everything. It opens you up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new possibilities. You stop trying to control the future, and instead you flow with whatever comes, trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. We all have patterns that run our lives. Some are helpful, like brushing your teeth every morning, but many are not. These unhelpful patterns are often deeply ingrained, running on autopilot without us even realizing it. They're the behaviors, beliefs, and habits we've picked up over the years, and they're often driven by fear or insecurity. But here's the thing, you're not stuck with them. Creator mode is all about becoming aware of these patterns and breaking free from them. It's like hitting the pause button on an old movie you've seen 100 times and asking, do I really want to keep watching this? Once you become aware of a pattern, you have the power to change it. You can choose a new way of responding, a new way of being. Breaking free from old patterns doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, patience, and a lot of self-compassion. But with each step you take, you're moving closer to the life you truly want to live. You're shedding the layers of who you were told to be and stepping into the truth of who you are. Mindfulness is your compass in creator mode. It's what keeps you aligned with your true self, even when life gets hectic. At its core, mindfulness is about being present, fully aware of what's happening in the moment, without judgment. It's the practice of checking in with yourself, asking, is this aligned with who I am and what I want to create? Think of mindfulness as a way to tune into your inner GPS. When you're mindful, you're not just reacting to life's circumstances. You're consciously choosing how to respond. You're aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and you're making sure they're in line with your intentions. Mindfulness also helps you stay grounded when things don't go as planned. Instead of getting caught up in the drama of a situation, you can step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, what's really going on here? This awareness gives you the clarity to make choices that feel right for you, rather than getting swept up in the chaos. Living in creator mode means living authentically. It means showing up as the truest version of yourself, without trying to fit into someone else's mold. Authenticity is about honoring your own truth, even when it goes against the grain. It's about making decisions based on what feels right for you, not what you think others expect of you. When you're authentic, you stop worrying about what others think. You stop seeking approval or validation from outside sources because you're confident in who you are. You know that your path is yours alone, and you trust yourself to navigate it. This doesn't mean everything will always be easy. There will still be challenges, but you'll face them with a sense of purpose and alignment. Authenticity is freedom. It's the freedom to be who you are, to follow your passions, and to live a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. When you live authentically in creator mode, you're no longer playing small or hiding your light. You're stepping fully into your power and embracing the life you were meant to live.